Honorable delegates of the CPA, British Isles and the Mediterranean Regional Conference, honorable ministers, right honorable and honorable members, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Stephen Twigg, our new Secretary General, John Davis, who is the Regional Secretary for BIM, clerks, secretaries of delegations, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor for me to have been invited to make the chairman's opening address of the 49th CPA British Isles and the Mediterranean Regional Conference on the topic of the role of parliamentarians in times of crisis. I would firstly like to thank our host, the Parliament of Malta, and the CPA Malta branch, and in particular, Honorable Angelo Farrugia, MP, Speaker of the House of Representatives of the Parliament and former CPA branch chairperson. Speaker Farrugia, it was a pleasure working with you in the CC and also in the ESCO. You were an asset to this committee. Your professional experience in handling complex issues was brought to bear during our discussions and no doubt helped to push our agenda forward. As pioneer chairperson of the small branches, you carried out your duties with a lot of dedication and savoir-faire. To all of these, I say thank you on behalf of the Executive Committee and to a large extent, the entire membership of the association. I'm delighted to be sharing a platform with my esteemed colleagues once again, which I would have preferred for us to have a face-to-face meeting, share tea and coffee together, and do the usual things that we have loved to do. And I'm sure all delegates are greatly appreciative of the hard work from yourself, Speaker Farrugia, and your Parliament team, which has ensured this conference could take place. I believe this is the first BIM regional conference to be held remotely, and its success is testament to the ingenuity of the Parliament of Malta and the wider region. It follows a very effective and fruitful visual CPA International Executive Meeting that I chaired in August, and I imagine we will be harnessing these new technologies increasingly in the coming months as face-to-face meetings still remains difficult in many parts of the world. For those who are attending the CPA events for the very first time, may I briefly say that the CPA, which was founded in 1911, comprises some 180 national and sub-national branches and seeks to promote the advancement of parliamentary democracy by enhancing knowledge and understanding of democratic governments. The CPA connects, develops, promotes, and supports parliamentarians and their staff to identify benchmarks of good governance and the implementation of the enduring values of the Commonwealth. CPA activities focus on the Commonwealth's commitment to its fundamental political values, including just and honest government and the alleviation of poverty, fundamental human rights, international peace and order, global economic development, the rule of law, equal rights and representation for all citizens of both genders, the separation of powers among the three branches of government, and the right to participate in free and democratic political process. Regional conferences such as these are an excellent opportunity for members and staff alike to join together and discuss these values and how best to approach them in what is often a challenging and fast-moving global context. These meetings allow us to explore these issues both from a regional perspective and with the valued involvement of observer members and officers from other CPA regions, from a broader holistic Commonwealth angle as well. Over the next 2 days, you will have the opportunity to share best practices, generate innovative ways of approaching regional challenges, and create long-lasting, mutually beneficial connections between parliaments within the region and further afield all key functions of the CPA's network. Honorable members, in addition to this conference, I have been very encouraged to see many successful events this past year being held within the CPA BIM region. Most notably, the CPA Small Branches Sustainable Economic Development Workshop in January 2020, hosted by the Parliament of Malta, and the CPA Malta branch, and attended by 19 Commonwealth Parliamentarians, including the CPA Small Branches Chairperson, Honorable Nikki Rattle. The outcomes from the workshops and subsequent toolkits, Climate Change and Small States, a guide for the effective climate change action, are just some examples of the effective impact of the CPA in aiding our membership. The BIM region was also an active participant in the celebration of the CPA community's unique connection of almost 2.4 billion people on Commonwealth Day in March 2020. It was only shortly after this occasion that the Commonwealth was struck by the full force of one of its greatest challenges yet, COVID-19. My thoughts go out to all those affected by the pandemic. It has greatly impacted the way in which we go about our everyday lives and has curtailed the means with which parliaments and parliamentarians are able to successfully operate and promote the fundamental values of the Commonwealth. Whilst the COVID-19 pandemic has raised great challenges for us as legislators, it has allowed us to embrace new methods of communication and highlighted our ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Adaptation was the key theme for our 65th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference held in Kampala, Uganda last year. And it is a vital element in how the CPA can be of aid to its members in times of crisis. Parliamentarians are now focusing their minds on public health and creating safe and secure environments for their constituents. To succeed in this endeavor, we have had to embrace rapid and uncertain change in the form of technical, social, and cultural adaptation. From how we communicate and travel to the ways in which we legislate, represent, and scrutinize governments. As such, adapting to and embracing these new ways of working is essential for us to fulfill our civic duties. Moreover, whilst the whole world has felt the effect of this pandemic, not all of us have been impacted equally. I am therefore greatly pleased to see that the conference program includes sessions on how small jurisdictions have managed and attempted to reduce the impact of COVID-19 and the relationship between gender and crisis-specific policy. In recognizing that crises such as these do not have a uniform impact on the health of or socioeconomic status of an individual or a jurisdiction, we as legislators can be more tailored and effective in our response and future planning. Whilst the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, which was due to be held in Kigali, Rwanda, in June 2020, has understandably been postponed until next year, the theme of delivering a common future, connecting, innovating, transforming has never been more relevant. The CPA has, in this time of crisis, maintained a constant focus on innovation and transformation while looking at what we offer to our membership and how we can best support you in times of flux. This week, for example, we are hosting a fully virtual post-election seminar for the Parliament of Dominica, our second such event following a very successful program for Anguilla in collaboration with CPA UK. The Secretariat also produced a timely CPA toolkit for Commonwealth parliamentarians and legislators on the COVID-19 pandemic and delivering parliamentary democracy, and have engaged in numerous online masterclasses and webinars. The CPA has been part of this incredible surge in the digitalization and virtual nature of processes taking place across the Commonwealth. While we may not be able to engage in person during these unprecedented times, the advantage of modern technology is that it allows us to support our membership and has the ability to reach a wider audience. Inclusion is key element of the theme of the 65th CPC. Inclusive, accessible, accountable, and strong parliaments, the cornerstone of democracy and the essential for development. At our recent executive committee meeting, members made the difficult decision to postpone the 65th CPC in Halifax, Canada, from January to August 2021. I hope that by that point, we are able to meet and discuss this important topic in person, but I am confident that we will be able to adapt on what may. Last week, 15 September, was the International Day of Democracy, and in my video message to the CPA membership, I highlighted the importance of scrutiny and accountability as vital components of democracy. As legislators, we must be a voice for citizens and continually adapt our practices to fulfill our critical functions during this crisis, essential in the ever-evolving nature of democracy. Recognizing the power of collectively providing an accessible and inclusive space, I am optimistic that our branches will use their own platforms to encourage greater adaptation and development within their own jurisdiction. We, as parliamentarians, must be at the forefront of responding and evolving in this time of crisis. The last 6 months has shown us that when pushed, we can be more connected, cooperative, and flexible than was perhaps initially thought possible. I hope that this spirit of collaboration extends far past the lifetime of COVID-19 and continues for many years to come as we pursue our shared goal. I look forward to hearing the outcome of your discussions over the forthcoming days and trust that through the sharing of our experience, we can keep on evolving as responsive parliamentarians and as our organization demands from us. Thank you very much, dear colleagues, and look forward to the coming days. Thank you.